Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to another WWE Mattel action figure video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at this year's WrestleMania figures. So every year, Mattel release a WrestleMania series. Tends to have elites, basics, battle packs, and they're all based on previous WrestleMania attire. Unbelievably, we have spoke about these figures, but never really gone into detail, and we've never done it in the same video. So what with WrestleMania just round the corner, kind of makes perfect sense to take a look at those figures now. So we are going to look at the elites, the battle packs, the basics. We're going to talk about the ring attire. There's some fantastic figures in this video. I'm going to tell you why they're fantastic as well. So we have got a lot to cover. Let's not mess around. Let's start with the elites, and let's start with the Undertaker. That's right, we're going to start with the dead man, the Phenom, and let's start with a bit of confusion, because this Undertaker is based on WrestleMania 33. You might remember the Undertaker took on Roman Reigns, and they actually headlined WrestleMania 33. Well, the Undertaker's jacket was very detailed. It had a lot of embroidery work, and that's just not reflected in the jacket that you get here. So the jacket, I don't know if it's rushed, I don't know if it's cost saving, but the jacket isn't right. What I do love though is the face scan. This is the first Undertaker to have true FX face scanning technology, and I think it looks incredible. So once you take that jacket off, you take the hat off, both perfectly fine accessories, just not 100% accurate. But once you take them off, I think you've got an incredible Undertaker figure here. And with those accessories on, it's perfectly fine. And also, I think the reason they wanted to get this Undertaker out is, you might remember that at the end of that match, he folded up his jacket and he put his hat on top and he left them in the ring. Obviously, what with this being a fabric jacket and you get in the hat as well, you could recreate that if you wanted to. It was a really big moment. It kind of makes this a really big figure. Next up, we've got Sasha Banks. This is based on WrestleMania 32. And I believe it was Sasha versus Charlotte versus Becky for the Women's Championship. It comes with a Raw Women's Championship, and there's not many figures where you can get that title. It also comes with a black display stand, which is very cool. Her ring attire here is inspired by Eddie Guerrero, so that is very cool. Eddie Guerrero, obviously, Sasha Banks' hero, so that makes this a very smart figure. Not only that though, this was actually meant to be in a triple pack. I mean, we're not going to go into those kinds of details, but it looked like we might not get this figure at all. So the fact they found a way to release it is very, very cool. So something a little bit special there for you. Next up, we've got Scott Hall. This is WrestleMania 18. Scott Hall, of course, took on Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 18. And it was a cool moment. It was really smart to see the NWO at WrestleMania. This comes with like a breeze block as well. I think the face scan on this is really cool. There's been a bit of criticism because there's been quite a few NWO Scott Hall figures, but this is based on WrestleMania 18, and it fits perfectly in this series. So if you don't have one, this is a pretty good one to get. The final elite, this is probably my least favourite out of all of them. It's Triple H. This is WrestleMania 19. I believe this is based on his match he had against Booker T. You get the World Heavyweight Championship, you get a sledgehammer, the front of the purple trunks say the game, and it is cool. It is based on that event, but there's something not right with the face and the hair. I don't know why, but I do struggle with this era Triple H. I feel like Mattel are absolutely smashing, like, the current Triple H. We're getting some fantastic figures of what he looks like now, but Ruthless Aggression, even Attitude Era, they're not quite right. There's something just a little bit off, and I can't say exactly what it is. Might be the hair. I'm really not sure. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So, if I had to pick one, I would say Undertaker, with Sasha Banks as a very close second. Let's move on, shall we, to the basics. We've got Charlotte Flair, and I am amazed that this wasn't an Elite figure. It's based on WrestleMania 34, so only last year, and she made that fantastic entrance when she had her match against Asuka. I think this is a great basic. I think there's a lot of detail here, and there's quite a few people that might overlook this figure just because it's a basic. And the ring attire looks okay, but I think if you know it's from that match last year and you actually look at the detail on the ring attire, this is a great figure. This is a great figure. So I think out of all of the basics we're going to be talking about, this is the one I would go for. Next up, we got Trish Stratus. This is WrestleMania 18 as well. This is from the Jazz versus Trish versus Lita match. I don't think we've ever had a Jazz figure. And it was Jazz that won that match. So we could really do with a Jazz figure. Maybe she's in some kind of dispute with WWE. I'm not too sure. But this Trish is okay. I hate the top. I absolutely hate the top. I hate the fact that she's got that bra mold and then they just paint over the top. It just looks stupid. It looks stupid. The top part looks wrong. I think the face on it is great. I think the hair looks great. So the head overall I think is fantastic. Love the fact it's got the maple leaf logo. Obviously she's from Canada. Yeah, it had that on the back of the ring attire. I like that ring attire. I like that detail on the back, but I can't see past the fact that they've absolutely botched the top part of the body. Next up, we got Elias. This is based on WrestleMania 34. Obviously, the lights went out. We all thought it was Undertaker, and then out came Elias. He was wearing I don't know what it was. It was like a see-through kind of top. But you don't get that here because this is just a basic. And it's a little bit different. It's not the best Elias. You don't get a guitar. But for a basic, I think it does a job. Next, we got John Cena. This, again, it's fine. Not really much to get excited about. It's a different look for John Cena. Again, this is based on last year when he was sat in the crowd. He sat in the crowd because he didn't think The Undertaker was going to show. So he thought he'd just end up watching WrestleMania. So he was in the crowd. This is what he was wearing. And yeah, I'm not sure why they made a figure of this, because I'm not sure too many people are like desperate for this attire. But I suppose it's a different look for John, and getting John into the line is never a bad idea. Next, we got Matt Hardy. Again, this must be based on last year because it's Woken Matt Hardy, and he wasn't woken at WrestleMania 33. This is when he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and I don't think his trousers had that detail on. If it did, then it wasn't as obvious as that. I'm not criticising because I actually think the figure looks really good. Like, I would say this is my second favourite after the Charlotte. I love the face on this. I think the face, the Woken Matt Hardy face, and the detail with the different colour in the hair highlight, it's really cool. It's a great basic. Final basic we need to look at, Kevin Nash. WrestleMania 18. So Scott Hall had the match against Stone Cold, but it was Kevin Nash that walked down to the ring with him. There's something wrong with this figure. I think it's the hair colour. The hair colour doesn't look quite right compared to how he looked at that event. So yeah, just a little bit off there. But It's good. I mean, it's good that you can get Hall and Nash in shops right now. You can get both of the key members of the NWO. Just have to hope that we will get a Hulk Hogan NWO figure at some point this year. Final things to talk about are the battle packs. Let's start with Seth Rollins and The Miz, and this is awesome. That Seth Rollins figure, that is something special. I love the face on that. The head on that, I think, is fantastic. It's a really strong figure, but then not only that, that is his ring attire from last year, and that is Game of Thrones inspired. Apparently he is the Night King. Now, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so that completely passed me by at the time. I'm really surprised they didn't turn this into an Elite figure. And a bit of a shame as well that he's not got the blue contact lenses in his eyes. Because I think that was quite a big part of his entrance as well, his eyes being a different colour. They haven't been able to kind of recreate that here, but you still get like the wrestling part of that attire, and it's different, it's cool. I don't think he'll ever wear it again. It was a one-off WrestleMania thing. You can get it in this battle pack, and not only that, it comes with a perfectly fine Miz figure, and Miz in a bright colour, in red. So I really like that. Normally we see the Miz wrestling in quite dark colours, quite bland ring attire, but this one stands out a little bit, and I really like this battle pack. Next, another good battle pack, Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, again based on WrestleMania 34, based on their championship match when AJ beat Nakamura, but Nakamura delivered a low blow. The AJ Styles figure looks great. Comes with knee pads, comes with an arm pad as well. Yeah, grey ring attire. Some nice detail and highlights on there. Looks really good. And of course the Shinsuke figures always look great because the face scan of Shinsuke is stunning. They have absolutely nailed that. Absolutely nailed it. So this is a very, very close second place. The final one is Jeff Hardy and Edge. This is based on WrestleMania 17. They had maybe the best WrestleMania match ever. It's in my top 10. I would say it's in most people's top 10. It's the TLC Tables, Ladders, Chairs match from WrestleMania 17. And of course, Jeff Hardy had the belts in his hands. And then off a ladder, Edge delivered a spear. It was such an epic moment, and they've captured that here. They've got both Edge and Jeff Hardy in the attire that they were wearing during that match. Now, I don't know why Jeff Hardy doesn't have more of a see-through top, because his top was see-through. It wasn't all just black. So I'm not sure why they've done that. And also, does this mean we're not going to get Christian or Matt Hardy from this match? Because this is like such a historic match. I can't cope with just having half of tag teams. Like, I need the other half. I need the Dudley Boys from this match. I need Matt Hardy. I need Christian. Yeah, it looks like we're only getting these two. From those 6 people that were in the match, so little bit confusing, but I understand why they've gone with these two because of that moment. It was such a big moment, and it's great to have a Jeff Hardy with red hair. Look at that! How cool is that? So yeah, very, very cool. And that is it, guys. That is this year's WrestleMania figures. So we've spoke about all the ring attires. We spoke about our favourites. I think we've kind of covered it in pretty good detail. Let me know out of all of them what your favourites are in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.